mountains. But I had no idea that the caves were so important. And going into Pakal's tomb, I got a sense of this whole building was made just for this cave. And then to find out that the cave was only an access point to the rivers, and then the journey through the cenotes, just my whole concept of the Maya religion exploded.
The tourist beaches of the Yucatan Peninsula may seem like a strange place to search for the secrets of Pakal's passage to the afterlife. But beneath these beaches are the points where the freshwater cenote system meets the sea. One of them is the cenote they call the Temple of Doom. I'm hoping my guide, Pablo Diaz, and equally famous cave diver Gonzalo Arcila can tell me more.
I was wondering, I've heard that there are these tubes that go from the cenote bottoms all the way into the sea. Yeah. And I was curious if, one, if there's one around here that we could explore, and two, if I could actually make that journey through the tube.
It's not a pretty dive, and it's a technical dive.
I understand it might not be pretty, but I guess what I want to explore is why the Maya thought this was a passage to the underworld. And I'm hoping that even if I can't see anything, seeing nothing would still be valuable, because it would give me some insights into what that journey was like. How dangerous is this?
When the fresh water meets the salt water, that the visibility becomes completely blurred, and it just becomes very eerie, and it really takes your breath away for a minute.
It's quite a trip.
So I guess what I don't understand are the risks.
We consider dangerous. The cave splits in several directions, and one mistake will lead to a very dramatic ending we don't want to have.
I'd be stuck, basically,
Yeah,
in a hole, and I couldn't get out. So I would just stay there until I ran out of air.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
I've got a hunch that the passage from freshwater to saltwater may be the key to the Maya underworld. I'm determined to experience it, but first I need specialized training from Pablo. Learning to cave dive is all about learning to maneuver underwater in the dark. I put on a mask, blacked out with tape. Pablo spins me around to disorient me. Then, in total blackness, I have to secure my line and then find the lifeline that would guide me out of the cave. Without being able to see, it's a real challenge. On a lot of dives, finding that line would be the difference between life and death.
It's so beautiful down there.
That was a great job. How did you feel doing this tour?
That was fine. Yeah, that was fine. Just went right to the rope, right?
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go for a dive.
Finally, the moment has come for my dive to the sea.
We'll see if I live. But if it works, I come through, and as I come up, I'm a god. At that point, I'm officially reborn as a god, and the crew is aware of that. My accommodations will be upgraded significantly. Temple of Doom.
We're almost there. So the steep slope.
I'm on my way to the cenote called the Temple of Doom, and the point where freshwater and saltwater meet. Divers call it the halocline. And I've heard a theory that the Maya believed the halocline was the meeting point between this world and the next. Could this possibly be true?
And we'll go through the halocline. When we go through the halocline, that's the transition to the salt water. Remember, visibility will be lost. And it's like a big psychedelic blur.
This is a cenote. This is stunning.
Imagine walking in the jungle and suddenly finding out this.
One short leap in. I say, let's go for it.
Pablo explains that at the Temple of Doom, there's a constant flow of water to and from the sea. The cenote system is like a giant lung, which breathes in salt water from the sea at high tides and exhales it at low tides. We hope the halocline is not too far away.
Ready for the plunge?
Ready for the plunge, baby. Below the surface, tunnels extend for miles. We swim into the darkness. "15 minutes in and still no sign of the halocline. It's much farther away than we'd hoped, deep inside the dangerous blackness. We swim on. The stop sign is a warning. Beyond this, there are no lifelines. We're in uncharted territory. We're heading into the Maya underworld of the dead. Finally, we see the halocline. It's astonishing. An invisible barrier throwing everything out of focus. A shimmering wall of water. And then suddenly, we're through into the crystal clear salt water of the sea. Could the Maya possibly have experienced this phenomenon? Perhaps some sacrificial victim survived to tell the tale. We'll never know, but it's an intriguing possibility. The halocline is the perfect image of the meeting of two worlds. The subterranean rivers of the Maya underworld are an unforgettable experience, but I still have a lot to find out about Pakal and his temple. So 2 planes, and 6 hours later, we've made it to Guatemala City, and the adventure continues. On the next leg of my journey, I join a magical ritual of the living Maya and risk my life again on a wild ride in Guatemalan whitewater. My investigation of Maya pyramids is turning into a real detective story. In my own way, I've been following the clues for days now. In Mexico, at Pakal's tomb in Palenque, I discovered a set of mysterious images, a passage to the underworld, mountains with caves and rivers inside them. These are the images which seem to have inspired Pakal's pyramid. But where do they come from? In the Yucatan, I discovered subterranean rivers and the extraordinary halocline, the underground meeting point of fresh and salt water, the perfect image of a portal to the underworld. But what about the mountains and the caves? With archaeologist Rafael Cobos at Chichen Itza, I try to connect the dots.
The connection is the creation myth, also known in the Maya as the Popol Vuh. The Popol Vuh states that bodies of water and temples, mountains, are always related with the underworld.
Rafael tells me the Popol Vuh is the Maya book of Genesis and one of the very few Maya texts to survive the Spanish conquest. For centuries, the Maya had carefully written down the stories of how their gods created the world. But in the 16th century, Spanish conquerors declared Maya religion to be the work of the devil and set out to destroy it. Priests consigned thousands of priceless Maya texts, the heart of Maya religion, to the bonfires of the Inquisition. only a handful survived. One was the Popol Vuh. It was discovered in the highlands of Guatemala, in the town of Chichicastenango. Since it sounds like the Popol Vuh might have the answers I'm looking for, that's where I'm headed next.
In Chichen Itza, I learned that a lot of the answers to my questions about the Maya pyramids might be found in a mysterious Mayan document called the Popol Vuh. That's why I've come to Chichicastenango in the highlands of Guatemala. This is where they found the Popol Vuh and where I can uncover some of its secrets.
Chichicastenango is the heart of the living Maya world and the heart of the living Maya religion. I think there's someone here who can help me understand the Popol Vuh. His name is Benicio Peña, and he's been living with the Maya in the highlands for years.
Benicio? Yeah?
Hey, how are you? Bienvenido.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This place is amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let me show you around.
Yeah.
Okay, vamos.
I've never seen so much color in my life, or so much religious devotion. Benicio knows more about the Maya religion than anyone in Chichicastenango today. Inside the church, signs of Maya worship and offerings are everywhere.
We have corn, we have avocados, we have prunes and incense.
So this is the church where they found the Popol Vuh?
Yeah, actually it was hidden right behind the main altar. That's what they found it. Really? That was at the beginning of the 18th century, in 1701.
It seems we owe its survival to a Maya priest who was determined to preserve this priceless Maya knowledge for future generations. Taught to read and write by missionaries, he secretly wrote the story down. He hid it behind this altar, where it stayed for 150 years.
Why was it placed behind the altar?
Well, because there was a lot people was hidden away from the conquistadores.
Really?
Because the conquistadores did destroy.
Its discovery opened a window into the heart of Maya belief, which today has been blended with Christianity to create a unique religion.
Benicio, teach me about the Popol Vuh.
Okay, the Popol Vuh is like the myth of the Genesis, the Maya Bible. That's what it was in. It's about the origins, the beginning of time, and the creation of mankind.
Is there anything in the Popol Vuh that relates the Mayan beliefs of the underworld with caves and rivers?
Oh, yes.
Benicio tells me the Popol Vuh is the story of the gods who created the world. Two of them, the hero twins, descend into the underworld and discover the secrets of eternal life.
The first fathers were, the Popol Vuh talks about it. The hero twins, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, going into the underworld, but the way they go is through a sacred mountain and a sacred cave, and then through a river.
Could this be the key I've been looking for? Benicio says that there's something he wants to show me at the ruins of Utatlan, a Maya city just outside of town.
Benicio, this place is beautiful, but how does it relate to the sacred caves that we're talking about?
The Mayans still use it today to perform ceremonies. And they've been tunneling right under this temple to make ceremonies.
So they're actually digging under this site and
Right
praying?
under this site, yes.
Is that something I could see?
Yeah, let's go and see. I'll show you.
Lead the way.
It seems that for centuries, the Maya have been digging an artificial cave beneath the city's ruins. It's a sacred site where they conduct ceremonies all the time. There's one in progress when we arrive. A shaman friend of Benicio's is starting a ceremony just outside the mouth of the cave. He's asking for the blessing of the Maya gods.
He starts the ceremony here?
Yes. He begins here before he can go in inside. He has to ask permission to the guardian spirit of the tunnel, so he can go in and do a ceremony inside.
Does he do the same ceremony inside?
It's different because basically inside they just offer incense and candles.